5 years ago, a prescription drug addict in the hospital was a fairly rare occurrence. I would have one every few months. Currently, I always have at least a couple in the hospital. More prescriptions from doctors. That's the only way you can get a hold of these drugs at first, and then and then over time they find their way to the streets and people can buy them on the streets. But initial access has to be from a physician. A typical patient, say, would have chronic back pain and be given Vicodin for that, and discover that they like the effects of the Vicodin, and they use more and more of it, and eventually their doctors get uncomfortable with the number of prescriptions that they're asking for, and typically what will happen is they'll cut them off. And at that point, the patient has a couple of options. One is to go into treatment, which means they have to acknowledge that they're a drug addict, or find another way to get the drugs. So they'll probably start doctor shopping at first, and when they've worn out that particular way of getting the drugs, then they have to go to the streets to buy them. Well, for the person taking the drugs, they will notice that the drug becomes a more central part of their life. Like, say they're going on vacation. They wouldn't think about leaving for a vacation without an adequate supply of Vicodin. That's the first thing they'd think about. Or lying to their family, doing things that are out of character. And for family members, they would notice changes in behavior patterns, doing things that are out of character for that person. I think people are just beginning to understand what a terrible problem this is. And I don't think there's been a formal response as of yet. Most doctors are trained that these drugs are harmless, and I was trained the addiction potential is really minimal to non-existent, and that's just not the case.